Hello, and welcome to the English Show. I'm happy you're here with us. Before we start, please subscribe for more easy English lessons. Today's topic is motivation, and we will speak slowly so you can follow easily.
Hi. Motivation plays a big role in our lives. It helps us learn, grow, and overcome challenges. When we are motivated, we believe we can achieve more.
Yes, that is true. Motivation is important for many things. When we have motivation, we feel strong inside. We feel ready to do something. For example, when I have motivation in the morning, I feel I can finish many tasks. But when I do not have motivation, even simple tasks feel difficult.
I understand that. I feel the same. When I have motivation, I wake up with energy. I think positive thoughts. I plan my day. I feel confident. But when I do not have motivation, I feel slow. I feel tired. I do not want to start anything. Motivation can change how we think and how we feel.
Yes, and motivation can help us grow. It can help us learn new skills. For example, when I want to learn a new language, I need motivation. Learning a language takes time. It takes practice. Motivation helps me continue, even when it feels hard.
That is a good example. Many people want to learn English. They want to speak better. They want to listen better. They want to understand more. Motivation helps them stay strong and not give up. Motivation helps them practice every day, even when they make mistakes.
Yes, mistakes are normal. Mistakes are not bad. Mistakes help us learn. When we feel motivation, we do not worry too much about mistakes. We try again, we continue, we learn slowly, step by step.
Exactly. Motivation also helps us believe in ourselves. When we believe in ourselves, we feel more confident. We say to ourselves, I can do it. We feel hope. We feel that our goals are possible.
I like that. Yes, goals are a big part of motivation. When we have a goal, we have something to work toward. A goal gives us direction. A goal gives us purpose. For example, maybe your goal is to read one English book, or maybe your goal is to speak English for 10 minutes every day. These small goals can help you feel motivation.
Yes, small goals are good. Small goals are easier to start. When we finish a small goal, we feel proud. We feel success. That success gives us more motivation for the next goal.
Yes, small success becomes big success. Motivation grows little by little. It grows day by day. We just need to continue.
I agree. Motivation is not always strong. Sometimes motivation is big. Sometimes motivation is small. Sometimes we feel very motivated. Sometimes we feel no motivation. And that is normal. We are human.
Yes, we are human. Our feelings change, but we can learn how to find motivation. We can learn how to keep motivation. We can learn how to bring motivation back when it feels lost.
That is important. Sometimes we lose motivation because we feel tired. Sometimes we lose motivation because we feel scared. Sometimes we lose motivation because we think something is too difficult.
Yes, fear can stop motivation. But when we talk to others, when we ask for help, when we take small steps, we can feel motivation again. We do not have to do everything alone.
That is true. Support is important. Talking to friends, family, or teachers can help us feel more motivation. When someone believes in us, we start to believe in ourselves. That belief brings motivation.
I agree. Belief can make motivation stronger. When someone tells us, you can do it, we feel more positive. We feel more confident. And with confidence, we feel more motivation. Confidence and motivation can help us grow.
Yes, they can. I think another important part of motivation is our dreams. Dreams give us direction. Dreams show us what we really want. For example, maybe your dream is to get a good job. Maybe your dream is to travel. Maybe your dream is to study in another country. These dreams can create motivation.
That is true. Dreams can be powerful. They can make us feel excited. When I think about my dreams, I feel energy in my heart. I feel hope in my mind. And I want to work hard. I want to take action. That is motivation inside me.
I like that feeling. When I feel motivation, it is like light inside me. It is like the sun in the morning. It makes me feel fresh and ready. It makes me want to move. It makes me want to try new things.
Yes, motivation can feel like light. It can also feel like a push. It can help us start something new. For example, if you want to exercise, motivation pushes you to stand up and go outside. If you want to study English, motivation pushes you to open your book and start reading.
And when we take action, even small action, motivation can grow. For example, if you study English for 10 minutes, you may feel good. You may think, I did it. That good feeling gives you motivation to study 10 more minutes.
Yes, action and motivation work together. Action brings motivation, and motivation brings more action. It is like a circle, a positive circle.
I like that idea, a positive circle. Sometimes, though, the circle can be difficult to start. Sometimes we feel no motivation. Sometimes we feel lazy. Sometimes we feel sad or tired.
Yes, that happens. It happens to everyone. But we can learn small tricks to create motivation. For example, we can listen to music. We can make a plan. We can think about our goals. We can talk to someone we trust. These things can help us feel motivation again.
Music is a good example. When I listen to music, I feel energy. I feel happy. My mind becomes more active. And sometimes I feel like I can do anything. Music can help me find motivation when I feel low.
Yes, music helps me too. I also like to write. When I write my goals on paper, I feel more motivation. When I write my dreams, I feel more motivation. It feels more real. It feels more possible.
Writing is powerful. I sometimes write small tasks. For example, study English for 10 minutes, walk for 15 minutes, or read a book. When I finish these tasks, I feel proud. I feel success. That success gives me motivation.
Yes, finishing small tasks is important. It builds trust in ourselves. It shows we can do something. And when we see success, even small success, we want more success, and that becomes motivation.
Motivation can also come from learning. When we learn something new, we feel strong. We feel smarter. We feel more confident. That confidence gives us motivation to learn more.
Yes, learning motivates me. When I learn a new word in English, I feel happy. I think, I know this word now, and I want to learn more words. When I understand a new sentence, I feel excited, and I want to understand more.
That is a good example for English learners. When they learn, they grow. When they grow, they feel motivated. And when they feel motivated, they learn more. Another positive circle.
Yes, motivation grows with learning and practice, but it also grows with rest. Rest is important. When we do not rest, we become tired. When we are tired, we lose motivation. Rest helps our mind and body feel fresh. And when we feel fresh, we feel motivated again.
Yes, rest is important. Sometimes people think they must work very hard without stopping. But working without rest can kill motivation. It can make us feel stress. Rest helps us stay balanced, and balance helps us keep motivation for a long time.
I agree. Motivation is not only about working hard, it is also about being kind to ourselves. When we are tired, we need rest. When we feel sad, we need support. When we feel scared, we need encouragement. This kindness helps motivation grow.
Yes, kindness is important. Motivation grows in a warm and positive environment. It grows when we feel safe. It grows when we feel loved. It grows when we believe that we can change and improve.
Yes, improvement is a big part of motivation. When we see improvement, even small improvement, we want to continue. For example, when we speak English a little better, we feel proud. When we understand more words, we feel happy.
And that happiness becomes motivation. It becomes energy. It becomes hope. And hope keeps us going. Hope makes us strong.
Yes, hope is like fuel. It gives power to motivation. It keeps us moving forward. It helps us continue our journey, even when the journey is long.
I like thinking of motivation as a journey that begins with a small step, a journey that continues with practice, a journey that becomes easier with time and experience.
Yes, and every journey has difficult moments. Sometimes we walk fast, sometimes we walk slowly, sometimes we stop. But if we want to reach our goal, we continue. We take one more step. Motivation helps us take that step.
And sometimes we need to remember why we started. The reason can bring back motivation. The reason can remind us of our dreams. The reason can show us our purpose.
Yes, remembering our reason can be powerful. It can help us feel inspiration. Inspiration gives motivation, and motivation gives action.
And action brings success.
Yes, and success brings more motivation.
I think another helpful idea is to celebrate small success. Many people only celebrate big success, but big success takes time. If we wait only for big success, we may lose motivation. But if we celebrate small success, we feel happy more often. That happiness becomes motivation.
I agree. Small success is very important. For example, if someone studies English for 15 minutes today, that is a small success. If someone learns 5 new words, that is a small success. If someone speaks English with confidence for 1 minute, that is also a small success. All these small successes can grow into something big.
Yes, and sometimes small success is not visible to others, but we can feel it in our hearts. We know when we try. We know when we work. We know when we show effort. And effort is a part of motivation.
Yes, effort shows we care. Effort shows we want something. Effort shows our motivation is alive. Even when the result is small, the effort is meaningful. It keeps the motivation moving.
Motivation needs energy, and we can find energy in different places. For some people, energy comes from family. For some people, energy comes from music. For others, it comes from reading or exercise. Everyone can find their own energy for motivation.
Yes, and it is important to know ourselves. When we understand what gives us motivation, we can use it. We can use music to feel motivation. We can use goals to feel motivation. We can use rest to feel motivation. We can use support to feel motivation. Everyone can build their own plan.
A plan is very helpful. When we have a plan, we know what to do. We feel less confused. We feel more control. And control gives motivation. A simple plan can help us take action.
Yes, and action creates results. Results create confidence. Confidence creates motivation. It is a strong cycle, but the first step is always action. And action can be small.
Yes, Action does not need to be big. It can be small and simple. For example, reading one page of a book is action. Practicing a few English words is action. Waking up a little earlier is action.
Yes, small action is easier to start, and starting is the most important part. When we start, we open the door to motivation. When we say, I will start, motivation hears us. Motivation comes closer.
I like that. Motivation hears us. Motivation responds to us. Motivation grows when we welcome it. When we say, I want to change, motivation smiles.
Yes, motivation smiles. It likes when we take steps. It likes when we try. It likes when we continue. And when we stop, motivation waits. It does not disappear forever. It waits for us to begin again.
That is a comforting thought. Motivation does not leave us forever. It waits. It understands that we need rest. It understands that we need time. And when we are ready, it comes back.
Yes, and motivation comes back stronger when we learn from our rest. Sometimes we need to step back to move forward. Sometimes we need to breathe before we run. Rest is not weakness. Rest is part of motivation.
I agree. Rest gives us energy. Energy gives us motivation. And motivation gives us action. All of them work together.
And something else helps motivation: gratitude. When we feel thankful, we feel positive, and positivity makes motivation easier. For example, when I say, I am thankful for my family, I feel warm inside. That warmth gives me energy to work.
Yes, I feel the same. When I think about what I have instead of what I do not have, I feel happier. I feel lighter. And when I feel light, motivation becomes easier. Negativity can make motivation heavy, but positivity can make motivation light.
That is true. Being positive and thankful helps us stay motivated even during challenges. Sometimes we face difficulty. Maybe we fail a test. Maybe we lose a job. Maybe we feel lonely. These moments are hard, but if we can find even one small thing to be thankful for, motivation can survive.
Yes, motivation can survive. Motivation is not weak. It can be small, but it is strong. It is like a small flame. If we protect it, the flame becomes bigger. If we feed it, it becomes fire.
And that fire can light our path. It can show us where to go. It can show us who we can become. It can show us what we can achieve.
Yes, motivation shows us possibility. It shows us hope. It shows us our future. And when we see a future that we want, we feel strong motivation.
Yes, our future can give us motivation. When we imagine ourselves doing something great, learning English, finding a good job, helping others, we feel inspired. Inspiration moves our heart. Inspiration creates motivation.
And inspiration can come from many places: books, videos, teachers, friends, family, nature, and sometimes our own experiences.
Yes, our experiences can teach us. When we look back, we can see times when we succeeded. We can see times when we were strong, and those memories can give us motivation today.
Yes, our memories can remind us that we have been strong before. They can remind us that we have learned before. They can remind us that we have overcome challenges before. When we remember those moments, we feel motivated again. We think, if I did it once, I can do it again. That thought gives energy to motivation.
I like that idea. Remembering our strength can help us move forward. For example, when I learned my first English sentence, I felt proud. I thought it was difficult, but I learned it. And when I remember that moment, I feel motivation to learn new sentences.
Yes, and when we remember how far we have come, we feel encouraged. Sometimes we look only at what we cannot do and we feel weak. But when we look at what we can do now compared to before, we see progress. That progress gives motivation.
Progress can be slow, but it is still progress. Many people want fast results. They want big changes quickly. But real change takes time. Real learning takes time. Real growth takes time. And motivation helps us continue during that time.
Yes, time is important. Motivation and time work together. When we have motivation and time, we can improve. We can reach our goals. We can make our dreams real.
Motivation helps us be patient. Patience is not easy. Sometimes we feel frustration. Sometimes we feel tired. But patience helps us continue. And when we continue, we grow.
Yes, patience is part of motivation. People think motivation is only excitement and energy, but sometimes motivation is quiet. Sometimes motivation is slow. Sometimes motivation is simply not giving up.
I like that. Motivation is not only loud and strong, it can also be calm and steady. It can be a quiet voice that says, try again. It can be a gentle voice that says, do not stop.
Motivation can also be discipline. Discipline means doing something even when we do not feel like it. For example, studying English when we feel lazy, exercising when we feel tired, saving money when we want to spend. Discipline keeps motivation alive.
Yes, discipline protects motivation. When motivation is small, discipline supports it. When motivation is weak, discipline helps it grow. Discipline is like a strong friend to motivation.
And habits help motivation too. When we make good habits, motivation becomes easier. For example, if we make a habit of reading every day, we do not need a lot of motivation. The habit helps us continue.
Yes, habits are powerful. They reduce the need for effort. They reduce the need for big motivation. They make our actions automatic. Good habits can help us reach goals even when we feel low.
Motivation can also be found through challenges. Challenges are not always bad. They can teach us, they can make us stronger, they can show us our limits, and they can help us pass those limits.
Yes, challenges can give us courage. When we face a challenge and win, we feel strong, and that strength gives motivation. It tells us that we can do more than we think.
Challenges also help us understand ourselves. They show us what we want, they show us what we fear, they show us what we need to learn. And when we learn, we grow.
Growth is a big part of motivation. When we grow, we feel alive, we feel happy, we feel hopeful. Growth makes us believe that tomorrow can be better than today, and motivation helps us work toward that better tomorrow.
I think motivation feeds hope, and hope feeds motivation. They are connected. When we believe in a better future, we feel motivation. And when we feel motivation, we believe more in the future.
Yes, they support each other. Hope can be like a light in darkness. When we feel lost, hope shows us a direction, and motivation helps us move toward that direction.
Sometimes motivation comes from people around us. A kind word, a smile, a helpful comment, or a small encouragement can give us motivation. Support from others is very powerful.
Yes, support can change everything. When someone believes in us, we feel stronger. When someone says, you can do it, we feel courage. When someone listens to us, we feel comfort. Support can bring back motivation when we feel lost.
And sometimes we can give motivation to others. When we help other people, we feel motivated too. When we support others, we also support ourselves. Inspiration can be shared.
Yes, sharing motivation is a beautiful thing. When we inspire others, we grow. When we encourage others, we feel encouragement. Motivation grows when it is shared.
And motivation can come from kindness. When we are kind to ourselves, we feel less stress. When we forgive our mistakes, we feel more hope. When we treat ourselves with respect, motivation becomes easier.
Yes, many people are too hard on themselves. They expect perfection, but perfection is not real. Improvement is real. Growth is real. Trying is real. Motivation grows when we accept ourselves and continue.
I think acceptance is a very important part of motivation. When we accept that we are human, we accept that we will make mistakes. We accept that we will feel tired. We accept that we will feel sad sometimes. Acceptance helps us continue instead of giving up.
Yes, acceptance gives peace. When we have peace inside, motivation feels easier. We do not fight with ourselves. We do not feel angry with ourselves. We move forward slowly, but with a calm heart. And a calm heart can stay motivated longer.
I agree. A calm mind also helps motivation. When our mind is full of stress, we cannot focus, we cannot plan, we cannot take action. But when our mind is calm, we can think clearly. Clear thinking helps us find motivation and direction.
Yes, a clear mind helps us make choices. Choices influence motivation. When we choose positive thoughts, we feel positive motivation. When we choose negative thoughts, motivation becomes weak. Our thoughts shape our motivation.
Thoughts are powerful. Sometimes we think, I cannot do this, and that thought kills motivation. But when we think, I can try, motivation grows. A small change in thinking can change how we feel.
Yes, language matters. The way we talk to ourselves matters. When we say, I am trying, I am learning, I am improving, we create motivation. Motivational words create motivational feelings.
And motivational feelings create action. Action creates results. Results create more motivation. It is a chain, a positive chain.
Yes, and sometimes we need to speak kindly to ourselves, just like we speak kindly to a friend. For example, if a friend tries something and fails, we do not tell them to stop. We tell them to continue. We tell them they can do better next time. We can speak to ourselves like that.
That is a good idea. Many people speak harshly to themselves. They say, I am not good enough. But if they spoke to themselves like a friend, they would say, you tried, you can try again, you are learning. This kindness keeps motivation alive.
Yes, kindness protects motivation, and motivation protects our dreams. Dreams are very special, they are personal, they belong to us. When we lose motivation, our dreams feel far, but when we find motivation again, our dreams feel close.
Dreams need motivation, and motivation needs dreams. They are connected. A dream without motivation stays only an idea. Motivation turns the dream into action.
Yes, action turns dreams into reality. For example, if someone dreams of learning English, motivation helps them study, action helps them practice, time helps them improve, and one day the dream becomes real.
I think another part of motivation is curiosity. When we are curious, we want to learn, we want to explore, we want to ask questions. Curiosity helps us find motivation again when we feel bored.
That is true. Curiosity gives energy. When something is interesting, we feel excited, we want to know more, we want to continue. That excitement becomes motivation.
And sometimes motivation comes from change. A new place, a new hobby, a new routine, or a new challenge can bring fresh energy. Change can wake us up and help us feel motivated again.
Yes, change can help us see things differently. It can show us new opportunities. It can make old tasks feel new again. Change can give motivation a fresh start.
Motivation can also come from setting deadlines. When we say, I will finish this by Friday, we feel motivation. Time gives structure. Structure helps action. Action brings results.
Yes, deadlines can create focus. When we know we have limited time, we use our time more wisely. We work with purpose, and that purpose gives motivation.
Another important idea is reward. When we work hard and then give ourselves a small reward, we feel happy. Happiness gives motivation.
Yes, reward does not need to be big. It can be a short break. It can be a small treat. It can be watching a video. It can be listening to music. Rewards make effort feel more enjoyable.
Enjoyment helps motivation. When we enjoy what we do, we want to do more. When we hate what we do, motivation disappears. That is why it is helpful to find fun in work.
Yes, fun makes motivation easy. For example, learning English can be fun when we watch movies, listen to songs, or talk to friends. When we enjoy learning, we stay motivated.
And we can make difficult tasks more fun. We can listen to music while working. We can study in a comfortable place. We can drink tea or coffee while reading. Small changes can make a big difference in motivation.
Yes, comfort and joy help motivation. When we feel good, we work better. When we work better, we see results, and results give motivation.
Motivation also needs purpose. When we know why we are doing something, we feel stronger. When the goal is important to us, motivation is strong. When the goal is not important, motivation is weak.
Yes, purpose gives meaning to our work. It turns action into something valuable. And when we feel our work is valuable, we feel motivated.
Purpose is something we should think about often. When we know our purpose, we feel clear, we feel focused, we feel steady. And when motivation becomes weak, our purpose can make it strong again. Purpose reminds us why we started.
Yes, and motivation needs reminders. It is normal to forget our purpose sometimes. It is normal to feel tired. But when we remember our dream, our goal, our reason, motivation returns. It becomes bright again.
Motivation is like a light inside us. Sometimes it becomes small, but it never disappears completely. With time, with rest, with encouragement, with purpose, we can make it strong again.
Yes, and we can remember that motivation is a journey. It is not always easy, but it is worth it. It helps us grow. It helps us learn. It helps us become better versions of ourselves.
We talked about motivation in many ways today. We talked about small steps, dreams, goals, habits, rest, support, kindness, patience, purpose, and more. All of these things can help motivation grow.
Yes, and we hope that everyone listening can take something from this conversation. We hope they feel inspired. We hope they feel encouraged. We hope they understand that motivation is not magic. It is a choice, a habit, and a process.
And even if someone feels low today, they can still begin again tomorrow. Motivation does not ask us to be perfect. It only asks us to try.
Yes, one small step can make a big difference. One small action can start motivation. It can help us continue learning. It can help us grow slowly, day by day.
And no matter how big or small the goal is, learning English, improving health, building confidence, motivation is there to help.
Yes, and everyone has motivation inside them. Sometimes it is loud, sometimes it is quiet, but it is always there, waiting to grow.
So we want to say thank you for listening to this conversation. We hope you feel motivated to continue learning and growing in your life.
Yes, thank you for spending time with us today. We enjoyed talking about motivation, and we hope you enjoyed listening. Keep learning, keep trying, keep dreaming, and keep believing in yourself.
And remember, motivation begins with one small step.
We hope you join us again next time.
Thank you and have a wonderful day. Stay motivated and stay positive.